Welcome to today's deep dive. Anyone who has ever built a commercial multi-screen display knows the absolute headache of pixel mapping across physical
Oh
bezels.
yeah, it is a complete nightmare.
Right. Well, today we are pulling from spec sheets and verified buyer reviews to decode a piece of hardware engineered to eliminate that exact friction. We are looking at the WolfPack 4K 60Hz 1x9 video wall controller from HDTV Supply.
It is quite the mouthful, but the tech is incredibly focused.
It really is. Think of it less like slicing up a photograph and more like a master jigsaw puzzle maker taking one massive, hyper-detailed 4K video signal and just perfectly slicing it into multiple smaller screens. You don't lose a drop of quality.
Exactly. And looking at the hardware specs, that processing starts with just a single ultra-dense 4K 60Hz HDMI input.
Just one input.
Just one. The controller's primary job is to distribute that signal across up to 9 individual 1080p HDMI outputs. So you can build these massive visual configurations, like a 3x3 grid, a 2x2, or even a 1x4 horizontal strip.
I mean, if you have ever stared at a massive multi-TV display in a sports bar and wondered how the image perfectly spans across all the screens, this is the exact tech making it happen.
It is the invisible brain behind the whole operation.
But I'm doing the math on that, and I see a discrepancy here.
What did you find?
Well, 4K resolution is essentially 4 times the resolution of 1080p.
Right, broadly speaking.
So if we are pushing this to a 9-screen 3x3 grid, how does that signal stretch across all 9 displays without looking horribly warped?
So that comes down to internal scaling. The device has a pixel-to-pixel capability for the smaller layouts.
Okay.
But if you were pushing a full 4K signal, which is 3840 by 2160 pixels across a 3x3 grid, you actually have to divide that resolution.
So each screen isn't getting the full 4K.
Far from it.
Yeah.
Each individual screen in that 9 TV setup is actually only receiving a 1280 by 720 chunk of the original image.
Wait, really? Just 720p?
Yeah, just a 720p chunk. But then the controller's internal scaler mathematically upscales that 720p fraction to fill the 1080p display.
Oh, I see.
So, you aren't getting a true native 1080p image per screen, but rather this actively upscaled fraction of the 4K master.
That makes sense for the upscaling, but what happens when those fractions hit the physical plastic bezels of the TVs? I noticed the specs highlight this splicing edge adjustment feature.
Ah, yes, the bezel problem.
Okay.
So if you divide the image purely mathematically based on the screens, a straight line crossing 2 monitors would look totally jagged.
Because of the physical gap from the plastic?
Exactly, it would look broken. So the splicing edge adjustment actively compensates for the width of those specific bezels.
Like it hides pixels behind the gap.
That is exactly what it does. It calculates the physical dead space and effectively hides the corresponding pixels right behind that gap. It forces your eye to perceive a continuous image geometry, completely ignoring the physical grid.
That is wild. Managing that real-time upscaling and bezel compensation, that requires serious processing power.
Oh, absolutely.
And integrating that processor into a commercial AV setup means it needs flexible control protocols. This is a 5-pound, $1,000 unit, yet the control options range from advanced RS-232 commands all the way down to basic push buttons and an IR remote.
Which is really smart design. The RS-232 support is critical for the commercial market, though.
Why is that?
Because it allows the device to interface directly with automated whole building systems like Crestron or Control4.
So it plugs into the bigger picture.
Right. This single 1x9 controller isn't operating in a vacuum. It is part of HDTV Supply's 25-year-old ecosystem. They engineer matrix switchers capable of handling up to 160 TVs simultaneously.
160 TVs. That is insane.
Yeah, so this unit is just one modular piece designed to scale depending on the installer's technical needs.
Which makes the accessibility of the tech such an interesting contrast. I was looking through the customer reviews, and you have verified buyers successfully navigating this crazy automated commercial AV integration, but the human element is still the biggest variable.
It always is, isn't it?
Always. There was this buyer named Doug W., and he noted that despite buying all this advanced commercial gear, he actually got tripped up at the website's checkout.
Wait, the checkout?
Yeah, because the site asked him to choose between card and credit card, and he was just totally confused.
Oh, man. Well, the end user experience always dictates the final friction points.
Exactly.
The controller itself is the invisible brain seamlessly linking the digital source to the physical screens. But, if the commercial buyer can't navigate the checkout cart, the tech never makes it to the server rack.
Right. And speaking of way this tech actually ends up, I want to leave you with a final curiosity pulled straight from the spec sheet.
Let's hear it.
This controller is rated to operate in ambient temperatures ranging from a blistering 122 degrees Fahrenheit all the way down to negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Negative 50.
Negative 50. It just makes you wonder what kind of extreme frozen environments on Earth require a pristine 9-screen 4K video wall.